coming this way. Wait a minute, hey, I'm ghosted!
By Roz Hernandez.
Oh my God, Harvey's back.
I'm back and better than ever.
Wait, when you came in here, you were like, I almost died.
Yeah. So I don't drive, and so when I'm in LA, I Uber everywhere. Because I was just like, I got rid of my car years ago when I was living in Toronto because I was paying for insurance, a car I didn't drive, parking tickets when I did drive. I'm a good driver. I don't want to get the impression that I'm a bad driver, but I just get more work done when I'm not the driver.
Oh, that's true. Like sometimes I'll take a train. Well, like maybe once a year I'll take a train, and I'm like, oh my God, I can like be on my computer when I'm moving.
Yeah. And you get a lot done. Like I used to do phone calls in the car when I did drive, but that's all I could do was phone calls. So I set up all my phone calls in the hour and a half I was in traffic. So it was like, I'll talk to you at 4:01. And it was like 4 until like 5:30. I would be on the phone, like, next in the I have to return this call, blah, blah, blah. I sound like I'm a stockbrokers in the trade. Sell.
Listen, you're busy.
I'm busy. And then when I got rid of the car, it was the best idea because usually for production, they send you a car. So they drive you to location if you're on set. So I didn't really need a car for a couple of years because I wasn't living in America. So I got rid of it. And then back to the story. So I was Ubering today, and this gentleman, very lovely, but he was driving by, and I was like, outside waiting for him, and like he drives right by me, and I'm like in a residential area, and I'm the only one in the street, and he just keeps going, and just like he didn't see me, and I was like, wait, you did see me.
I'm Harvey Guillen.
Well, am I a ghost? Like he didn't see me. I'm the only person on the street. And I was like, wait, he just drove by me. He went around the block, came back, and then he stopped like half a block away from me again and calls me. And I'm like, hi. And I'm wearing a bright red shirt. I'm like, hey, I'm right here. I was like, where are you? I'm right here. And
I'm like, this person right in front of you.
And that's when I started thinking, like, wait a minute. Can you not see me? Am I like, do I have superpowers? Am I ghost? Like, it's like, so he starts to, and I was like, I stood in the middle of the street, waving my hands. And this man's like, I'm going to keep driving. And he starts driving towards me. I'm like, I'm right here. And then if I go, there you are. And I'm like, and then I realized it was an elderly man and like not being ageist at all, but I could tell that he was squinting. And I was like, oh no.
Oh, and then you have to be in the car with him.
And I was like, oh no. And I was like, you missed me. So like, I missed you? He's like, where did you come from? And I was like, uh-oh. And I get in the car. And I sit in, and he's talking on the phone, actually, to someone. He's like, I think they left the plastic, full-on conversation, and then he won't drive. He's, like, parked there. And I was like, oh, I really have to go. I have an appointment. I have to really go. And he's like, all right, here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Turns off the phone. Then he just merges, and a bus, like, literally goes by us. And then the car behind the bus goes, brr, brr, and, like, literally honks and, like, gets, and, like, literally he merges, and he goes like this, all right, here we go. And he's like as calm as a cucumber or cool as a cucumber, and like he keeps like driving slowly, like, stop, and the car's like they were like the bus was like merged in the front like this, and the car was like this, almost hitting us because we merged into their lane. He didn't even look. So there's two vehicles. We're in the middle. People are honking. Now there's a lineup, whatever. I'm like, I get my phone. I'm like, I cancel the thing. I'm like, sir, can you open the door? Because one of those, like, he opens the thingy. And I was like, oh, here's the thing. And I cancel my ride. It's fine. He's all, that's what happened. You canceled the ride. That's what I can't see anything. And I go, that's not it. Like,
just go with it.
That's not why you can't. I was like, oh, so I got out of the car, and he just like, cool as could be. He's like, all right, here, like nothing. And I was like, I almost died. Like, I was like, the bus driver, like, got, like, he was angry, and I got out of this chaos, and I was like, I ordered another Uber, but in the middle, I was like, I should probably report this. Like, it's like, hey, I don't think this guy should be probably driving people. No, he
probably shouldn't.
And I feel bad, because I was like, he's probably doing, like, in the spare time, or he's but, like, I was like, he could not, like, no. I thought it was a ghost, first of all, and then it turns out, no, he couldn't see me. And
he almost turned you into one.
He almost turned me into a ghost. This would have been a different story. I would have showed up as a ghost, and it would have been your guest.
We got Ouija boards. It's fine. We're prepared. Okay, this is a new horror film.
Yeah.
That I'm thinking.
Yeah.
A horror film where it's a very old man driving.
And he was so sweet,
Uber.
too, but it was just like, oh my God, it's like, I feel like I was right in front of him on the street where no one is on the street with a bright red shirt, waving my hand. He's like, where are you? And I was like, that's not good. And what if this? I'm a stop sign. This is a red stop sign.
Yes.
And you can't see
that. That's a red light.
That's a red, not for him. It's a green all the way.
Oh, God. You need to bring back limos.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't
Stretch limos?
People don't take like a big giant limo to like go just to run errands anymore.
Yeah, you should bring those back. The carbon footprint is perfect.
That's what we need. That's what we need in this world is more limos.
More limos. We start a campaign. More limos.
So you were on this podcast like, I don't know, at least 10 years ago.
No. A couple years ago.
No, it was during the pandemic. I remember it was like early pandemic where we're literally like, okay, this thing's just going on for a couple of weeks. And like, I don't know, does anybody have any toilet paper I can borrow? Like, it was like that era.
Yeah.
Spraying down the groceries, like all of that.
Yeah.
And I remember it being so good. You had stories. People loved it.
People come up to me and tell me about that episode still. Like,
really?
Yeah. And then they'll be like, oh my God, my favorite story was like, your personal encounter with blah, blah. And I was like, that's so funny that like someone's favorite thing of yours is always something different that you've done in your career. But it's like, I've gotten a lot of this. Like, it's
really? Oh, I'm honored. Yeah. Have you had any ghost encounters since then?
Yeah, I'd say I
really?
Have. Yeah. So I moved into a new house in Altadena.
Okay, and so in the fires.
Yes, so the fires affected my neighborhood really badly, I'm very lucky where it affected me in a way that like I could still rebuild, in a way that I can be like, okay, it's going to take some time, but definitely damage part of the house. And the only reason my house didn't completely, I think, burn was that when they were evacuating, they forgot to evacuate our side of town. And I was evacuated on my own. Like, I just looked in my backyard and I could see a ball of redness coming. And I was like, I should probably leave. Yeah, because I didn't think it was going to move that quickly. I was like, no, they have it. You always think that, fire like that is contained. And it's in the hills. And it's also in Palisades. So I was like, what are the odds that it's two locations? And it's crazy. No, it was really bad. And I looked out the window and I was like red, like flaming, like amber in the distance, and I was like, that's not good. And so I just literally grabbed like my parents' wedding portraits. I think I have like their like stencil portrait. I grabbed it off in the wall and like walked out. And mind you, I don't have a car, so I had ordered an Uber.
Oh no, not that man!
So I was like, I have to order an Uber, and I had ordered one, and I wanted to get out there before it was too late, before they closed the roads, because they were closing all the roads nearby.
God, that's
and I was
terrifying.
like, then I'd be trapped. And so I was like, on the way out, my neighbor was like hosing down his house, and I was like, Ron, we should go, we should get out of here. And he was like, I've been here 52 years, and I'm not going anywhere. So if I were you, I would the shit out of your house, Harvey. And I was like, you're right. And I was like, cancel the Uber. Went and put the portrait inside the couch, got hoses, wet down my house, and then put on.
Wait, like the inside?
No, like the top, the roof.
Oh, okay.
Because the winds were 100 miles an hour, so the ambers were flying like rain. So there was rain of fire falling on the city.
Scary.
And that's why I feel like some houses were spared in somewhere, because the fire was coming from above. Like you're having ambers of fire fall onto dry brush or to roofs, and those would catch on fire. It would miss this house, but it would catch the next one, and that would catch on fire. It was pretty wild. And so I was like wetting the house, and sprinklers on the corner of the house, and I turned on the hose and the sprinklers in the front yard, like gushing water, just left them on. And then I evacuated. And then like at 4 a.m, I was up all night. I was like looking at my phone, just waiting. It's like someone's at your front yard. And it wasn't anyone in my front yard. It was just trees falling, flames, and just like,
oh my God.
I was just like, and I couldn't see what was happening to my house. I was like, oh my God, my house, it's gone. But I could see that the balls of fire were falling into the front yard. But when they fall in the front yard was soaked with water because of the sprinklers, and they would fall and they go, and they just dissolve. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, maybe there's like a chance. I didn't know anything until like 7 the next morning when like firemen showed up to the house, and I could see them in the camera, and they got to the backyard, because the fire literally went to the backyard and started burning the trees. And that's when the neighbor called the fire truck that side was on fire. So they came, they were putting his house out, his house caught on fire. They were wetting my house. And because they were there at that same time, when they noticed that the roof had caught an amber too. And so they can hose that down quickly, and so it was stopped and at that level. So the kitchen caught on fire, like the rooftop, but that was the only part that hadn't been hosed down. And so God. it was his suggestion that kind of saved everything for me. But
did your other neighbors get lucky?
The ones to my right and my left, they did, because they also stayed. They also were like, we're not going. They were like they were protecting their house and I mean, dangerous, not recommended, obviously, but there wasn't enough firemen to go around. I mean, the fire was going everywhere, and they just weren't. And the stories that came out of Altadena were really tragic. Just really sad stories.
I know one person whose house got completely burned down in that area.
Yeah, and I heard like the saddest story of like a elderly man who was taking care of their son who was disabled and couldn't get out of bed, and with his wife and daughter were in the house, and they called the fire truck and said, "Hey, I can't get him out because I can't pick him up." They're like, "Don't worry, sir, stand still." And then so he told his daughter and wife, "They're coming, go, 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 go. They're coming. They never came, and he was found like holding his son in the bed, like stories like that I'm like, that is heartbreaking, and like tragic. And it's just like the idea that like I love Altadena because the reason I wanted to live there was one of the first communities that sold to people of color, and as being a first generational homeowner for me, I wanted to buy there and be a part of that. And it's full of artists and it's full of like creative people, and so I wanted to be a part of that community, and that community, that energy, that like soul that lives on in that community even afterwards, but also all the souls that were lost, they were part of that community. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, what do you do? What do you do when you want to go back to live? So we're rebuilding. We just had Altadena Pride this past weekend because we weren't going to let it go by. We're like, let's do it. Like, it's like you would expect, take a break this season, this year, don't do it. It's already a small community as it is. So it really did feel like we're still there, and I just joined this community like a year ago. So I felt very welcome, and like I could feel the warm and positive energy. And that's what the community is. And that's what Altadena is that positive energy.
That's beautiful. So ghosts.
Yes. So I moved into the house. I know, I totally went off because of the...
No, I love this.
I moved into the house, and when you go and like when I first checked out the house, I was like, there's definitely energy here. Like for me, I'm really sensitive. Like, I mean, and my sister's really sensitive that way. When we walk in, so we're like, do you feel that? Like, it's like, yeah.
I used to think I could do that, but now I think I'm screwed up from going to places that were haunted or like that people were like told me were haunted so many times the past few years that I'm like, wait, is this haunted or am I hungry? Like I'm like confused. Like what am I feeling here?
Yeah, I feel like when I go into this place, I don't go looking for anything, but there's just like, I call it like your gut feeling. Like it's the same thing as you would with like a situation. Like your gut, like this feels weird, or like meeting someone, it's like this is a little off, or like, if you're going to go on a date or something, it's like something's off, like you trust your instinct.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
So I kind of credit to the same thing with that with like in the space. So we walked the house, and it was like it was built in 1912. It was like a historical home and whatever. Or not historical, but it's an old home. And so I was just like, there's definitely energy here. Like it's like good energy, like really historical energy, but there's also like that, there's something there, right? And we're like, whatever. And then my friend Denise, who's really intuitive with that like side, like she's like, you should get it like just completely clean, like, just to be safe, get someone to like, come and like sage it and whatnot. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And I just moved in. It was like, I was working, so I wasn't really moved in, and my sister was kind of like helping me. And, we were calling like, clean service to like just get it all tidy up or whatever. And it was broad daylight, and we have cameras everywhere, obviously, for security and whatnot. So there's one that faces the patio area in the back where you can enter, the back area where the laundry area is. And it's broad daylight. I could see that she's on the property, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to drop off stuff. And then she gets to the front of the door, which is all glass. Like there's a glass door and glass windows like that. And she gets to the door, and she goes like this. And I see her in the camera, she just goes. And she walks back to the parking lot. And
she just like freezes.
And she freezes. She walks out, and then she calls me, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And she's all like, hey, are the clean people here? And I was like, why? And she's like, because I heard voices when I walked to the thing. I don't want to like interrupt them. Are they like in there? So what were they saying? And it's like, I just like heard like kind of a singing, like is she singing in clean? Is it a lady's voice or like? And I was like, oh, I don't think it. No one's there. No one's at the house. And she's like, no, I heard someone singing in right when I got to the window. Like I could hear them, but they weren't in front of me, so I assumed they're in the kitchen, which is right next door. And I was like, no. She's like, can you check the cameras? And I was like, that no one's at the house. No one's coming to the house. Like, we can check the cameras. And I check the cameras, and no one has gone to the house. I check all the cameras and the footage. The only footage I see is her walking to the room, and then I put the audio on. And she's so like, yeah, because they were singing, blah, blah. And she goes, when she gets to the door, like in the audio, and I have this footage, she goes to the door, she looks in, and when her face goes like, I hear something, all you hear is,
ew! Okay, first of all, you just scared me so much. What?
And this is
that's singing?
That's on camera. That sound is on camera. And her face, now that I see the sound, because on her end, it sounded like singing. And I didn't want to even show her what it sounded like my camera. Like on her end, she was like, it sounded like singing, but a haunting singing. So I looked at it and I was like, someone's in there. And she walked away. In the camera, it's 10 times terrifying because it's not singing.
What is that sound?
And so I was like, do I tell her? Because I was like, there is a sound. You're right. There is a sound coming from there. It's not singing. And she was like, well, what is it? And I was like, And then so I sent it to her and she's like, nope. She's like, no, absolutely not. Like, so we had, people come and cleanse the space and whatnot. And then and I wasn't really officially living there. And then I was like, and then the second time we went into the house after we did all that, it felt lighter. And it felt like it was like, okay. And since then, there hasn't been really, like, there's been like small things, but not like, just like creaking or whatnot, but it's wooden floors and whatnot. So I was like, that's the house, but not like that. Like, I was like, that was a wonder. Like, I was like, that's all we need to hear. That's it. And we just got
scary. What kind of like person did you have come to?
We went through like we had someone come and sage it. We had a priest come.
Stop. Yeah. Just get everyone.
Yeah. But I've never done that before. I think I went with my sister. I was like, let's research because I wanted to cover all. I want to make sure everyone's covered. Get them all. It's like, I don't want to disrespect anyone. If they were religious, you'll follow the rule of this, But
right.
if they were just here and maybe a little counseling, like a little bit like, hey, I'm a therapist. You're not needed here anymore.
BetterHelp.com.
Yeah, better. Hinge. Someone on a date. They just wanted to last romance. So it covered our grounds because I'm like, let's just cover everything,
Yeah.
And I think it was the best idea because we went back and now it's felt lighter. And then my friend Denise, who came back, was like, yeah. Feels good. It feels good now. It feels good. So that was the seal of approval. Yeah, this place is clean, which is nice. And I think it was just energy. I mean, the house was built in 1912, and apparently it was a certified bachelor that lives there.
Gay guy.
And he used to wear like peacocks in his lapel, which in the 1920s were a way of telling other gentlemen, like, the whole handkerchief thing back in the 70s and 80s. Back in the 20s, a peacock was a sign of like, oh, peacock, you say?
Oh, you're peacocking around.
You're peacocking, and we see your peacock. So I kind of felt like it was maybe the energy.
You think it was him?
Maybe she was singing like tunes or
Stop. Your sister was like, there's like a gorgeous woman singing, and it's just like this gay guy in the 20s, just like,
tiptoe through my garden. This beautiful woman's voice I hear, and that insulted him even more.
He's like,
bitch, woman. No, if you're listening, we're in no way offending you. But. He's a viewer. He's like, what did you say?
What else do you know about him? Like,
that's all I know so far. But in his honor, sometimes people linger because they felt like this is where they belong or they felt safe, right? This is a safety or unfinished business. So I felt like in his honor, I want to show him that like we honor him. So I put peacock wallpaper.
Oh, that's cute.
Like a little like, you're not forgotten. This is because of you. Like, there you go.
Interesting.
As like, you'll always be a part of this house, but now you need to.
How long did he live there?
I think it was like over a decade or something. He lived for a while, and I don't know what happened. Like the story that I heard was like kind of up in the air. Like he was a bachelor, he was single, he was certified, and I was like, that enough said.
Because I wonder. I was literally just thinking about this because I've been looking at different places around Los Angeles, and it's like, having lived here for a number of years, if you just think about like so many different people can come and go in one space.
Yeah.
Because I do want to know all the history of every place I've ever been.
Yeah.
If I get like the last person's mail, I'm like, who the fuck is this? I'm like Googling. I want to know everyone that's slept in my room. But
there's so much history in LA, just in the last, century.
It's fascinating to think like who else it could be.
Well, I think my realtor, one of the things that they were like really proud of, like, so a paparazzi guy used to live here. And I was like, oh, and that's weird. It's like, yeah, a paparazzi guy used to live here. He's the one who took the picture, and I forget the actual detail picture because I kind of like, after that, I was like, what? But she knew the story. She was like, he's the one who loved blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and I was like,
the bad energy.
Yeah, I think that was the bad energy. And like, it was like, who exposed blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's something to be proud of, but
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so maybe that's the energy. Maybe
he took a picture of Tara Reid's nipple.
Yeah, that was him.
Wow,
yeah,
good for him.
But yeah, you never know who's like. I mean, LA's a revolving door of like talent. People come here like writers and dancers and actors, and that's why I envision LA. It's like, I mean, they're pretty new compared to our rest of our neighboring like cities and states. LA's pretty new.
Oh my god, you go to Europe, they're like, 1912
babies,
brand new.
Yeah, I mean, like California, which was Mexico before, like it's been here. That's why a lot of the the streets, and the names of the streets, name of the city, itself.
Los Feliz,
La Cuanga, Cienega.
Yeah,
so on La Cienega. Yeah, all the names are literally there. So all the history is there, like before it even became like a Hollywood town, which is not even a Hollywood town anymore. Everything's outsourced. So I haven't shot anything here in years.
I know, it's really bothering me. I feel like the energy is weird in LA these days because of that.
Yeah.
Because they're not filming things here. So it's not like the LA I've always known where there's stuff going on.
Yeah. And if you're lucky to get a gig here that goes for a couple of years, then you're like the jackpot. You already won the jackpot by getting the gig. I always say every time I win a role or get a role, like I won the lottery.
Yeah.
Because you did. You won the lottery. You outbeat, thousands of people for the gig. You got the gig. So it's like you got the lottery. And if you're lucky enough to get the lottery over and over, then you are really lucky. But if you're lucky to get the lottery and then still live near your family and friends and home.
How great.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So it's always like when I see friends who actually get gigs in LA, I'm like, oh my God. And it's like, and then I'm off to like Spain or.
Well, that sounds nice to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice, but it's also like, for the last 7 years, I've been living in Canada on and off, back and forth. And when I'm off, I'm usually shooting something, because you want to prioritize like your time off to like do a film or something. So then those films get outsourced to like Atlanta or, Louisiana or whatnot. And so you're never really home. So then you're like, I live in LA, kind of. And it's like,
technically.
Yeah, when I did the math, I was like, in the 7 years I was doing shadows in Canada and adding the movies that I did or projects that I was working on, I lived only like 6 months in LA out of 7 years.
You need to bring the gay guy back, the gay guy ghost. I want him. There needs to be a gay guy in that house.
I know.
Because you're not home enough. So just let him be there. Call up the priest and have the priest summon him back.
An Airbnb as like a haunting experience. Like, I'm like, time to shine. He puts on a show. It's like a vaudeville show.
Let him. He would love that. I have a feeling.
Yeah. You're on at 11 and 12:15. Like,
do you ever go to psychics?
I went to psychic once, and it was because my friends had all gone to the same psychic. I think they were all like, "You have to go. You have to go." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I have to go." And I went to psychic once. I remember, I was like, "Oh, okay," because you can incorporate anything someone says into your life if you just use the right wording. I think sometimes, but I remember that's not true because the first time I ever went to psychic, I didn't know what a psychic was. I was a freshman in high school, and we were walking outside this like house that also had a palm like on the window, and it was like readings and whatnot. And there was this girl outside who couldn't have been 2 years older than we were. We were like, freshmen in high school, me and my friend Adriana. And they're like, I'm a psychic, my mom's a psychic, we can do your reading. I was like, okay. Literally, like, we're just, okay, walking to a stranger's house off the road.
I know.
With a palm that literally says reading. And
I've done it.
I walked in, I was like, wow. And you walk into the living room, you're like, so this is the office? I'm like, wait here. And then the mom comes out, looks at her hand. And then I remember her saying something along the lines of like, you two will be together forever. And we're like, mind you, this is my friend who's a lesbian. And me, and we look at each other and we're like,
Oh my
and she goes, you two married together forever.
Oh, she's never met a gay person.
And I was like, And we looked at each other and we looked at her and then we joke about it because we're still really good friends to this day. And then I was like, you know what? I wish she was right.
Hey.
We're still together.
That's, you know what? Because, like, with a psychic, you can definitely, you know, run with whatever they're saying and you can find a way, I think, a lot of the time. Sometimes I think things like that where I'm like, okay, the psychic did say this thing, but they weren't necessarily, like, I was up for a job. They told me I wasn't, like, it's not going to work out. And then I got the job.
Well, in a way, doesn't it make you drop your guard and expectation? And then when you do get it, it was even bigger of a...
I guess.
Right?
But here's the thing. But then the job, like, kind of didn't work out. Like,
oh, so they're kind of right then.
So I'm like, because for a minute I was like, this dumb bitch, I gave her money and she told me I wasn't going to get.
She didn't tell me what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
This is phony.
She was wrong.
She was wrong. You're not hearing what I'm saying. That's okay because you're not saying what I want to hear.
Exactly. So that's, it's like the same scenario with you and your friend where it's like, yeah, you guys are together.
Yeah. I think she had me until she said married and blah, blah.
Well, okay.
Also, early might be stages that, like, we do need to get married in the future for some reason. Maybe I'm jumping the gun here.
You know?
Maybe.
It's a long life.
It's a long life. I might need this. I mean, the way things are going, my wife and I.
Wife? Confirmed bachelor, I thought.
My wife and I are very happy together, and yes.
Good for you two. That's beautiful.
No.
Are you a horoscope person?
I mean, to an extent. I don't go to like rising and
yeah.
Yeah, we're like, what's your right? I was like, I couldn't tell you.
I know.
It's like, people, I'll do it for you. Just tell me the date you're about the time exactly and the perfume your mom was wearing when she was giving, like, like,
tell me the exact temperature of the night you were born.
Dilate. Yeah.
How many inches was she dilated?
And I'm like, I love having this conversation with my praise student.
How many hours was your mom in labor? What was the name?
Divide that by.
Yeah, seriously. That's really
but not really. Like, I know my sign, and I know that, like, for a long time, like, no, those things are like whatever. But people are like, you're a Taurus, and I was like, yeah, stubborn but loyal, and fearful, and like, so all the things that were like definition of what a Taurus is, I do like 90% agree. You know, like, I was like, yeah, that's about right. Like, we're the easiest to get along
You're
with.
Gonna marry a lesbian.
Marry a lesbian. Taurus, marry a lesbian.
Yeah, very Taurus.
Yeah, very Taurus. But yeah, I do believe in, like, I follow it to an extreme, to an extent, not extreme, but an extent.
Are you an alien person?
I think I feel like that we can't be the only thing. Like, orbiting,
We better not.
We better. For our own sake, I would be like at the point where, like, we should ask for help, guys. Like, it's okay to ask for help.
Literally,
it's okay to ask for help. And it's like, if there's like intelligence that's way advanced, like, I always wonder if, like, people come from outer space and visit us and, like, other beings, aliens, whatnot, and they look at us like, oh.
At least we're not that.
Yeah, and then they bring their kids to, like, like, whatever language they're speaking, I don't know. And they're like, you don't want to be like that, do you?
Exactly.
Like,
they come here because they're teaching their kid a lesson.
Yeah. You want to be like that? Better act up. Better stop acting up. They fly.
Then don't litter.
It's also the Jetson sound for some reason in my head.
I think it absolutely is. That was a documentary, that show. That's real.
That's real.
Yeah.
The year was 2025, wasn't it, in the show?
Was it?
I think so. Something like 2025, 28.
Wow.
There we go. We're not flying yet, or not really flying.
But those people are.
Those people are. Yeah. I believe there's something bigger and greater. I'm also like, what if we did have aliens already, like octopus? Like, that creature?
Octopus is for sure. No,
like, it's like, what a smart animal. And, like, I was like, wait, what if this whole time you've been eating calamari and, like, octopus and it's alien?
Oh, an octopus knows exactly what it's doing. An octopus is so smart. And, like, I feel like an octopus is very much like, these people are still falling for it. They don't know I'm an alien. These stupid idiots. They can't even change color. They can't fit through a little keyhole with their full body like me.
It makes no sense, but it makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, when I look at, like, yeah, I feel like there's something bigger than us. And that also goes with, like, whatever, when people think about religion or whatnot, it's like a greater energy, bigger, like, it's like, this is all tangible. Like, our bodies are just tangible and they're, like, temporary. It's just like, where does that energy go? Where do you zoom up to? Where do you come from? Like, where do you know what I mean? Like, where are you flowing to? What vaudeville show are you doing in a haunted house at, like, midnight?
Are you like a past life person?
I think I am. I like to believe that, like, yeah, I feel that sometimes, like, maybe I was wrong. I was born in the wrong decade, or the wrong time, or what. But then I'm like, what if I was born in the wrong time? But it is still me and my traits and my character, and, like, it's like, ooh, like, it's already tough right now as it is. Imagine being, like, someone who's queer back in, like, 1801, South Dakota or something. You know what I mean?
God.
Like, I just think about that. Like, I'm just like, maybe that's why I'm not alive anymore there.
If that was me, I would have the biggest peacock feather I could find. Just like the full stem.
The whole thing. You
whole
can't walk through a door. You're like, excuse me, hold on. Just 1 second. A second.
I think a lot about past lives because, that means that in the future, we're going to be like somebody else.
Yeah.
And so
that's optimistic and hopeful. So
if there is still something,
maybe they come and get us, and then we can go with them.
Do you believe in alien abduction?
I think when people say those stories, like, I mean, when they're retelling them, they're so detailed. Sometimes I'm like, either what is that old saying? Like, when something's so detailed that it's either the truth or it's like a fib because you have to cover your ground. So, like, sometimes when I see someone tell a story, but they're, like, still traumatized by it and, like, in a haze, and they're saying the description, I'm like, ooh, that feels like it's real. Like, it feels like you're telling me the truth.
That's too real.
That's too real. Mm-hmm. But then you have somebody describe something and they're giving you every single, and then the hand went down, run into my sphincter, Just like,
it's always the sphincter.
It's always sphincter. And I was like,
That's just not. This is a fantasy.
Sounds like you have a fantasy that you need to fulfill. Sorry, Bob, but it doesn't sound real. But yeah, I every story, it's like you kind of like dissect it, I guess, and see if it's real or not. I don't know. Who am I to, like, say something's real or not?
I honestly think of all things paranormal, alien abductions are my favorite thing to hear about.
Really?
I love them because, yeah, it is, like, so often. Well, I often feel like aliens in the 90s were really into the butt.
Different decade.
Like, butt play for aliens was huge in the 90s.
Yeah.
You don't hear about it as much in, like, 2000s and current, but you do, like, there is a lot of
butt play.
There's a lot of butt play, but also, like, they wanted my sperm. So that they could, like, make humanoid people.
That sounds like a fantasy.
I know. I feel like it's always some guy that comes out and he's just like, or like some guy that, goes to the press and is like, yeah, these aliens wanted my sperm.
Yeah.
And they
to justify their wants. Like, yeah, so I had to do that.
Well, and they also, I had no choice.
Yeah, but 3 times in 1 week.
But they also often say it's like the alien was like a hot lady. Like, some hot lady, like, started having sex. She was, like, so hot, too. I swear to God. Like, I'm sure. Oh, she wanted me. It was, like, crazy.
She wanted you? This already sounds made up.
Yeah. How about someone on this galaxy want you first? And then maybe I'll believe you.
How about I see you with someone from this galaxy first, and then I believe how hot you are in another galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, how far? This must have been very far if you were considered hot.
Oh, no.
You.
They wanted you.
Yeah.
A hot female alien wanted you. Oh, my God. That's terrible. Oh, my God. But, I mean, yeah.
Or these people that are like, and then they stuck something in my butt. They're going to put something in your butt.
Your butt.
These creatures that have the ability to fly these giant things that we don't even know how to comprehend that technology. They can come down here. We can't go to them. They're the smartest people in the world. Clearly, they have great taste and they're clean and whatever. They want to stick their finger in your butt. You really think
your butt? They could go anywhere else, put their finger in anyone's butt, anywhere in the galaxy. But you're the butt.
Could it have anything to do with the fact that you were grabbing your ankles and holding them over your head? Could that be why?
That said open for business.
With an arrow?
Oh
maybe that's why they stick their finger in your butt, babe.
Oh my God.
Can I show you a haunted doll?
Oh, yes, please.
It's time for The Dolls Are Living. So what I do, I go to ebay.com and I find haunted dolls that are currently for sale.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ever purchased one of these dolls? No.
No, I haven't. My manager bought me one time.
And you didn't want it?
Nothing has happened. No, I don't want anything to do with this. And people listening, do not send me these. I don't want them. I kind of don't believe that any of these are real. I think it's like people just trying to get money. And so they're making up backstories for these dolls to sell them.
Yeah.
I appreciate the hustle.
Sure.
But I also don't want to find out because maybe what if they are right?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to find out. I don't want to see this doll. Okay, I want to see it.
This one's going for only $14.99.
That's a bargain.
That's a bargain. That makes me feel pretty good about the possibility of it being haunted because sometimes these are like $25,000 for this doll. And it's like,
is someone buying that?
No.
Also, what conversation is that seller having with that doll when it's not being sold? Like, it's like, see, no one believes me.
Seriously.
Yeah, and they get mad at the doll, and the doll goes missing.
I need to meet the person that would pay $25,000 for a haunted doll.
Who has $25,000 to spend on a haunted doll?
Some lonely person. But okay, so this one, $14.99.
Okay.
Please meet Dr. Lou. Jiha, show us Dr. Lou.
You got it, Roz.
Okay.
What year is this doll from?
I believe they say it's an 1980s doll of a doctor. And what we are looking at is a very androgynous.
Yeah.
Do you remember Pat, the character?
Yes.
It's very that.
Very
like,
Pat.
Is this doctor going to the men's room or the ladies' room?
And Dr. Lou. That could go.
And that's the thing.
Both?
Lou. So this doll has sort of like a bowl cut, but like lashes, very pink lips, doctor jacket, tie. Wow, this one is right down the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. There's a former living human that is now in this doll.
Oh.
Okay.
Do we have a background story?
Yes, we do. The person selling it says, we say that we are uncertain if this is a male or a female because Lou can be short for Mary Lou, Luann, or short for male names as well. And although we have asked if it's a male or a female, or if it had a husband or a wife, it will not give us a definitive answer.
The human spirit inside the doll or Lou the doll itself?
Both. I think the human that died went into this doll because they were like, ooh, this will be fun. Let's fuck with these people.
Yeah.
Because these people are like, did you have a husband or a wife? And this doll's
would you like to know?
I'll never tell. It says, we purchased this loving soul from another collector in Philadelphia. He was clearing out some of his collectibles and contacted us. He never got an answer to the gender either. So when Lou arrived, we set the doll in our dining room in the center of our table to adjust to the surroundings. Our dogs seem to sense good or evil. Oh, the dogs typically, I guess, can sense
Got
good or
it.
evil. And they were super excited and loved being in the same room as Lou. The atmosphere is uplifting and charged with positivity. The first evening, we didn't find anything out of place, just random noises, knocks on our dining room table, and at times we found our dogs running in and out of the room. Seems like they were playing with something that wasn't there. So they have used their ghost hunting equipment to ask some questions. They've heard Lou say, "I'm good." And they've also asked...
What does the voice sound like? It was like, I'm good.
I'm good. Something like that, I think, maybe. They're like, are you a man or a woman? I'm good.
Are you? What does that mean? Were you good at answering the question? Or can you answer the question for me?
I'm good.
No, just tell me. Are you a man or a woman?
I'm good. It says that according to them asking questions with their machines, this person was
What
never
kind of
married.
machines?
They're using a thing called a REM pod and a K2 meter.
Okay.
They're like ghost hunting equipment things that you can, a ghost can make it light up or make a beep if this for yes or that for no or whatever. They use a spirit box, which is like one of those radio, like where you can hear a voice, but it's just like, I'm good.
I'm good. Definitely female.
Yeah, basically, we don't know. We don't know what this person is, but it doesn't matter. They even say in here, it doesn't matter. It's a good vibe.
A good vibe. Is that like dried up blood on the coat?
It's just a little bit of blood, yeah. It does appear to be
some kind
soaked
of stain
in a giant stain.
I'm good, but they're not.
Lou's a doctor.
I'm good, but they're not.
Exactly. You know what I think it is? It's like it's a drag queen off duty because little tiny eyebrows.
Right.
So I think it's like a male that...
Yes, a pretty male on the way to the gig.
Yes.
As a doctor, that was part of the gag.
Yes.
And then tragically died.
Probably.
And
That's
then,
my guess.
Then became a doll. I think that's what the story is, right?
They had that Uber driver you had. Scary. Okay, well, that was Lou, the haunted doll.
Lulu.
Can I play you some ghost voices?
Yes.
Okay, it's time for EVPs or EV Please. Okay, so EVP, electronic voice phenomenal. So what I do is I go to YouTube.
Okay.
I find EVPs. I have 2 of them for you. This is anytime a ghost hunter thinks that they've captured a ghost speaking. So I'm going to play you these voices, and then I want you to tell me what you hear, and then I'll give you A, B, C, D, and the correct answer is what the person that posted it believes that this ghost is saying.
Okay.
This first one is from Sydney Paranormal Incident Research Investigation Team.
Okay.
AKA Spirit. See what they did. Sydney Paranormal Incident Research Investigation Team.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
This is at a place called Hornsby Hospital. Do I make you Hornsby, baby? Hornsby Hospital in Sydney. What's this ghost saying, Harvey?
Oh, one more time? It smells in here.
Hey, it smells really bad in here. Is that me making that noise?
No. Oh my God.
What is this noise
I've never heard that. What's happening?
That is neither one of us.
That was scary. Where did that come from? I don't know if the people listening can hear. Liberace, is that you? Well, let's play again. Okay, that was really scary. Okay, let's see if it happens again. I'm scared. Okay, so you think it says, "It smells in here."
It smells in here.
That's not what they thought.
What did they think?
Did they think it was A, wipe your silly face? B, wait for tonight, they said. C, why are you in my home? Or D, wait, could you smell that? That's kind of close to yours.
I'm going to go with either A or D.
They believe it was, wait for tonight, they said. Let me play it again.
Okay. Yeah, well, now that you say
now
it,
I can hear
I can hear it. But now because that has been placed in our heads, right?
Exactly.
So now do we want to hear that? What was that sound?
I don't know what that sound was. That was weird. Okay, here's another one. This one is from the same channel. And it was captured after a spirit cleansing of a private house investigation. Cleansed. Ew! Okay, what is this ghost saying?
One more time? It sounds like move, bitch.
It's very like Daft Punk.
Yeah.
I think this is through some kind of machine, clearly, as opposed to the last one was like just an organic, like, what, you smell bad? Like this one is like, beep, 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 beep.
Watch out for. Watch out, here they come.
Well, here's some options.
Okay.
Did they think it was A, it's a paschetti with meatballs? Did they think it was B, I think I've had enough of this? C, thanks for staying up with us? Or D, was it just somebody's uncle trying to beatbox?
Thank you for staying up with us.
It's totally thanks for staying up with us.
Yeah.
Ooh, weird.
Thank you for staying up with us. It's like they don't get a lot of visitors and they're like, thank you. I know you have things to do and we only party at night.
We appreciate that.
We appreciate that.
You know, thank you for staying up with me because that's the end of the podcast.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. This is fun.
I'm still thinking about that sound.
Which one?
The one that we couldn't figure out. Where did that come from?
I know that really creeped me out. Well, you know what it could be? My friend, who's an exorcist, R.H. Davis, she recently gave us this right here. Can you see?
Ooh, is there a skull in there?
Okay, be nice.
Oh.
This is Lois.
Oh.
There is allegedly, according to my friend, who I believe, a spirit in here of a school teacher named Lois.
Lois.
She loves show tunes and gold and gossip.
My kind of gal.
I know. She sounds fun.
Yeah.
And she likes being here to hear the gossip.
Lois.
It's what I've been told, so maybe that was her.
What a perfect spot.
Lois, if that was you, can you make another sound?
Lois.
Lois.
Come on.
Okay. Well, anyway, what do you got going on? Tell us where people can find you and stuff.
Yeah, you can just follow me on Instagram, the gram, at Harvey Guillen, full name. And Twitter. Does anyone use Twitter? Have you used Twitter? I think I'm still there. Harvey Guillen.
I love it. Well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
You know, if the gay guy peacock man comes back, I think you should welcome him. How fun to have like a 1920s gay guy.
Yeah, that would be
ghost
fun.
in your home.
I mean, I think I'm lucky to have it.
If he gives you more points of conversation to share with us in the future, please come back.
I'll keep a journal or something. Yeah, for sure. I think there's definitely something there. But he's a nice guy.
Thanks for staying up with us.
I'm good.
All right, we're done.
What's that at the foot of my bed? It's spooky and kooky. I'm pretty sure it's dead.